Alright. No further ado, and I'm going to be the first to apologize. I probably won't be able to do any Nintendo footage today with Super Mario Brothers because I had to get that off my chest. I apologize. That whole computer rant was necessary. But let's get to the whole point of the controller. This was the controller that revolutionized the industry. It's the controller for the original NES from the States. This is the one that comes with the system, perfectly square, just like the box system. Gray, black stripes, red buttons. Your start, your select, A and B buttons. The first ever D-pad. It doesn't get any simpler or better than this. Your controls quickly switch to your left thumb to control your character or whatever you were doing, and then your two fire buttons, your A and your B, with your other finger. You hold these controllers just like your modern day controllers, and they feel so natural. The only thing about it is, of course, it is a square shape. Even though it's comfortable, there were more ergonomically designed controllers made in the future. In fact, when the NES was re-released, it had what's called the dog bone controller, they call it. It was more shaped like the Super NES controller. Same kind of functions, a little bit classier for the compact top loader system they released in, I think it was '91. Along with this, down the road, Nintendo first party also released what's called the NES Max. They were looking to make money any way they could, and a turbo controller is a definite good way to make it. Your D-pad had a little sloppy disc in here that controlled your D-pad motions. A little bit better 8-directional control. A little odd, but a sacrifice worth making because you had your A and B buttons, and then two buttons underneath, which were turbo buttons that allowed rapid fire for the A or the B button, whichever you chose. And of course, your start and select. The control was a little more ergonomically designed. You see, it's almost like a boomerang type controller, similar to your modern day PlayStation controller, actually, and it feels very comfortable in your hands. This was really good for Mario 3 when you had a P-Wing and didn't feel like doing anything. You would either, just hold the damn button with your finger and wait till the level was over. Also, with coin-op and arcade ports happening at this time, Nintendo brought out its own arcade stick, the NES Advantage. One thing I hated about this is you couldn't do two-player on the Nintendo while having one of these darn things, because it connected in both controller ports, which is a travesty. It had the same functions as the turbo controller, an extra large A and B button, as well as your auto fire turbo buttons. You could swap between player 1 and player 2, but again, like I said, the two plugs were ridiculous. And you could actually control how fast the turbo was by using these dials at the top. And it was great for a lot of fighting games where you could use the arcade stick, and it had a feel very much like the coin-op arcades. Again, Nintendo made tons and tons of different controls and peripherals for the NES prior to the Super Nintendo coming out, which also had a lot of peripherals itself, but not as many as the NES, in my opinion. And with that, that's pretty much it for the NES controller. Next week, I'm going to bring you into the Sega era, and we'll delve a little bit into the Sega Genesis controller. Maybe this time we'll get into some Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay, and hopefully we'll come up with some more topics for us to cover. If you guys have any ideas for future topics, or if you just want to email me with a comment, question, any historical information you might want to know about video games, just email me at inthewarzone@aol.com. Also, check me out on the Gamer's Playpen, Monday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the All Digital Radio Network. You can give me a call there during the show, area code 201-793-TALK. Again, 11 p.m. between 11 p.m. and midnight Eastern. And until next time, game over.